Hey, this is Adam.
And Matt.
And here's what's coming up on this week's CarCast. The first day I got in the car, and another one was coming directly at me. I didn't notice too many on the road, but the guy was coming right at me, and the guy gave me the big thumbs up, like we're in the same fraternity.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to respond, like the proper response, because there's part of me that was like, hey, I wouldn't pay $70,000 for this car. I'd be driving an M3. But I'm not going to be able to convey all that with one hand movement. So then there's other part, well, I don't want to be a douche and not give him the thumbs up, like I'm in the Cadillac Club with him. But on the other hand, I'm not in the Cadillac Club with him. I'm just driving the car.
So would you just turn your head in shame?
No,
like, don't talk to me.
I gave him the, hey, man, I want him to feel good about his purchase. Listen for free through iTunes, the free Adam Carolla app, or visit acecarcast.com.
You're listening to the Ace Broadcasting Network.
Hello, my little croutons. It's me, Allison. I wanted to just say a few words before this show started. And yes, I did call you croutons. You know why? Because I'm hungry. But also because last time I called you guys enchiladas, and people seem to like that. You guys are weird with what you like. But I like that you like me. That's not weird. Anyway, Dave Hill is the guest on this show, and he is super funny, and I'm a big fan of his, and I think you will be as well. June 22nd is the next live Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. It's going to be at Nerd Melt, and I'm keeping the guests a secret for now because it's, well, I can't tell you why because that would ruin the surprise, but already the lineup is looking super awesome, and I think you should come out, and I will announce that soon, but as of right now, you're just going to have to be surprised and dazzled, which I think you will be. I think you will be pleased. I am leaving for New York tomorrow, and my head's just in a bazillion places right now, but except for I'm totally focused on the fact that I'm talking to you guys, and I love you. In this episode, all of a sudden you'll hear Dustin, and you might be thinking, what? And that's because I did not announce him at the beginning. But sometimes that happens. Think of Dustin as like a guy who just creeps up on you and then you jump, but then you're happy he's there. For anyone who doesn't know who Dustin is, he's my sometimes sidekick. I would like him to do the show all the time, but he has a life and stuff, and so he does it when he's available. Okay. Also, on a recent episode, the most recent episode actually, I put a song from my band at the very end because people were wondering why I never played that music. So I played one song, and the reaction was very good. In fact, someone tweeted me that they found our album on eBay, which I thought was cool. But I said that the reason I don't play the music or talk about it that often, first of all, it's a long time ago, but also because I just felt like I said it didn't really reflect me as an artist, and then I said that was a super pretentious thing to say, which I still agree with, but I guess what I meant to say, no, that is what I meant to say, but then recently I thought, I'm just going to bite the bullet and listen to this again. I don't know why I had this resistance. I'm wondering, do you guys have that sometimes, that thing where you don't want to go back and like watch a video from years before or read an old diary or something like that? Pictures I usually like to look at, but anything that is more of a complete experience that might make me feel immersed in that in a time period that was ages ago and sort of emotionally tough, I have this block against. But I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to listen. And I started listening to the songs, and I got chills. Not because they're so good, though they are, but it just brought me back so much to that time period. And so I thought, last time I played Steak Knife, which was a song that I didn't write the lyrics to, and I didn't write the song. And this time I'm going to put a song at the very end of the episode called I Never, which I did write the lyrics. And I wrote that song, but I should say, out of respect to my bandmates, I brought in a lot of the songs, like the kernel of the song, and then as a team, we, put the song together. So it's not like I came in with something fully formed or anything like that. But if you enjoy the music and you want to find out more, Paula, our singer, is now in a band called The Heels, and she's in Portland. And Tim, our drummer, is in a band called The Suicide Notes, which actually the song I'm going to play is about a friend of mine committing suicide, but that has no relation to the Suicide Notes. And he is based in Seattle. And then Yami, our bass player, is not currently playing in a band, but she might pop up on this show sometime because she used to come on the show when it was the Ustream show all the time. Okay, then. So if you wait until the end of the episode, I will play that song and I'll intro it and I'll explain it a little bit. And again, I put it at the end because you might not want to sit through it now. You also might not want to sit through me talking right now, in which case I just direct you to that fast forward button. But don't use it, because I'll know. Okay, then. I think it might be time to do iTunes Comment of the Week.
Alison Rosen brings you the best iTunes comments of the week.
All right, so there's 2 comments because last time I said that I wanted everyone to say what their favorite breakfast food was, and you guys did very well. Some of you, but some of you didn't. So anyway, you know what? Forget it. It'll make sense as we go. Gary, hit it.
All right, so the first one here is by Carl Mack, and it's titled Well Done. Allison and company have skillfully crafted a podcast that combines probing questions and long-form answers with an almost barroom atmosphere that draws the guests into a spirited and revealing interview and often leads down a path you would not suspect. Also, she says dirty words and talks about her lady parts.
I just enjoyed that because it's true. I do say dirty words and I do talk about my lady parts. Some might say too much, but not Carl Mack. All right, let's do the next one.
And the second one is from Fuller Knits, and it's titled Turkey Sausage. It says, whole wheat English muffin, turkey sausage, slice of cheese, large cup of coffee. That is a great breakfast. Please more Dustin's mom. I'd kind of like Mrs. Dustin's mom to be a new best friend of mine as well.
All right. Whole wheat English muffin? I don't know how I feel about that, Gary.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know.
I tend to order, if I'm going to get toast, I would order wheat toast usually.
Same.
But with my English muffin, I just want, white.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and I feel like there's a healthy element to that, the baked turkey sausage or whatever,
It seems like this is a healthy angle.
Yeah. A lot of people talked about waffles and pancakes, waffles versus pancakes specifically, and one person said pancakes soaked up the butter better. 'Cause if they're more porous.
Yes, that's true.
Then again, a waffle does have more surface area, actually, if you were to completely flatten it out.
I stand by what I said in the Damashek episode, which is that the Belgian waffle has 16 tiny little cups that can hold the syrup and butter.
You counted them? Is that what is a Belgian waffle? Is there a standard
number? No, I'm making
cups?
that up.
Okay.
I've had ones that there's 9. I've had ones. We could go. This topic could be 10 minutes if we talk about all the different waffles I've had.
I'm tempted, but no. All right. I disagree with you guys I think on the episode we talked about, I disagree with you guys about French toast. French toast is not something I've had in forever, but I just don't think it deserves the treatment it received. You guys are so anti-French toast.
It's not a breakfast food.
What is it? A snack?
It's like a slice of syrupy cake that you happen to justify eating at breakfast time.
Oh, I see, as opposed to a savory Belgian waffle.
Well, and depending, listen, I see
what you're saying. You're saying
argument.
It's too cakey.
It is, and some people do their Belgian waffles up too crazy with the chocolate or the strawberries and the whipped cream and all that nonsense, and that's a little too sugary too. But I just think that if you order a piece of French toast, the way it comes is so sugar-laden and cakey and pastry drowned in syrup that I don't need that.
I once kept the cover of, I think it was Time Out in New York, which comes up in this episode because Dustin and I worked there. I kept the cover of it, which had a picture of the kind of French toast you're talking about with just way too much. And I kept it as motivation to diet because looking at it gave me that ugh feeling. That's how gilding the lily it is. So I know what you're saying. All right. So now I have to and regarding Dustin's mom, there's been a lot of comments. In fact, I wanted to choose a different comment about Dustin's mom, but it didn't have breakfast foods in there. And I'm married to the idea of reading the comments that have the items that we asked for last week. But a lot of people like Dustin's mom, and maybe we can get her on the phone or to come in or something. And then also it makes me think that perhaps I should incorporate my dad into this show a little bit, because he used to appear on the Ustream show on the phone, occasionally in person, and everyone loved him. So maybe I'll try to get him on the phone on this show. Here's the problem, though. My dad has a very... oh, hi, I'm performing now voice. He's not aware he does it, but it's like, I'm trying to think if I can do an example of it. It's like, oh, hello. It's very sing-songy and it goes up and down, and I'm just hanging out with your mom here. We're just watching the television. Yes, absolutely. I think he thinks he sounds like super good, and like that's how people on the radio talk. So that's one thing. And the other thing is he has this go-to joke, which is not funny. The apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, but I guarantee you, if I were to call him up, he'd be like, oh, hello. And then if I said, what are you doing? He would say that he's just putting his sweaters in bags for the summer. And I don't know why he thinks that's so funny, because it's not a joke. If people actually do that with sweaters, but he thinks that that's hilarious. So anyway, I'm just warning. I almost want to call him right now, but well, here's the problem, though. Next time we get on the phone, he will have heard this. Well, it's okay. We can just talk to him about that. So anyway, enjoy the episode, and if you want, at the very end, listen to an Angora song. I love you guys. Bye.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her the good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello, it's me, Alison Rosen, your new best friend, and welcome to another episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. My guest today is the one and only Dave Hill, comedian, musician, writer, guy who normally is, I feel like normally you wear velvet suits, but today you're wearing an orange shirt and just pants. What's going
undercover.
on?
I'm a mess.
I wasn't going to say it, but it's true. We also have Gary in the booth.
Hey, guys.
Gary. I sound really like echoey to me, which is, it's fine. It's good if you like echoes. But anyway. And we also have Dustin.
Hello.
Who, before the show started, dropped the bomb that as he was going into business school, part of orientation involved taking an improv class. So we definitely have to come back to that. We have all sorts of things planned for today. But first, Dave Hill, we need to find out more about you.
About my outfit or just me?
About you.
Okay.
Okay, you're in town because you just put out a book called Tasteful Nudes.
That's right.
And you had a book party last night.
Yeah, I did a sort of a show, public display of something or another at Stories Books on Sunset over there in Echo Park.
Yes, what was the display?
Right there in the heart of it. Mm-hmm. I talked a little bit. I shredded on my guitar, and I read a little bit, and then I answered some questions of great importance.
And then you
made out with people.
Tweeted a photo. How many?
Gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Is that
and
normal
then before
for you
it gets fuzzy. I don't know after that. I mean, I woke up in some strange bathroom. No, it was a nice night. It was a nice Sunday.
I know you're joking, but I feel like maybe you did wake up in a strange bathroom. Yeah.
No, I knew the bathroom that I woke up in.
I feel like, that there was like one fact in there that was true, and we just will never know which one.
That's like that game, 3 Truths and a Lie.
I mean, probably the fact is that you had a book party.
Well,
that's what happened.
You tweeted a photo of you and a tiger.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, that's what happened. I was at the Stories place, and then we went to some place I can't pronounce the name of, Taix. People are pronouncing it. A French restaurant.
I don't know.
Taix. It's over there on Sunset. And
Sunset, we say.
Sunset, here in town. And then we went to my friend Dino's house, and he lives
Dino, who has a long Greek last name and is a comedian.
No.
There's another Dino?
Dino Paredes.
Oh, no. That's not where you went.
He knows Glenn Danzig.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Just to qualify.
You hashtag Danzig in your tweets.
Yeah, whenever possible.
Right.
Yeah, we were gonna call Glenn Danzig last night for because yesterday was my birthday.
Oh,
I don't know if you know
happy
this.
belated
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm a May birthday as well, except it's June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Are you a Taurus?
No, I'm a Gemini.
I knew
What?
that.
Yeah,
seem
you
like
can
that.
feel it.
Oh, totally.
No, yeah, we went to his house, to Dino's house, not Glenn Danzig's house, which would have been great.
That would have been cool.
But
Maybe that was the bathroom you were in.
yeah, Danzig's. Oh, there it is.
yeah.
That's me and the tiger.
And then there's also a dog face also
That's a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, because Gary and I had a misunderstanding because I wanted to know what happened with the tiger photo, and then Gary thought I was asking you what happened with the dog photo.
Well, my thinking was that when Allison tweeted to you and said, remind me to tell you about this, and I saw the tweet and looked at your timeline.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Okay, so I looked at your timeline, and there was a tweet that said, 11:33 p.m. still crunk with a picture of a dog, and I thought that was noteworthy, so I picked that one out.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess I could have said still crunk with me and the tiger too, or is that a cheat? Let me ask you this: does that look real? Like it's alive?
Oh,
not really.
It does. I thought it was. Now that you say that, there's sort of a taxidermied stillness.
Well, yeah, he has huge taxidermied animals in his house. And
I
you
wanted
get
it to
in
be
there.
alive.
And I think
me
it is
too.
a cheetah to answer
Yeah.
the question that wasn't entirely asked.
Yeah, but he had like all these animals, like full, huge ass animals in his house.
Had he shot them himself, or does he just collect
No,
taxidermied animals?
I think he collected. My sense is that was an old cheetah. Like,
Did it smell?
no, it's delightful. It was very nice.
My grandfather had a rug that was maybe it was
Grandpa
a cheetah.
Rosen.
No, the other one.
It's 50-50 chance I would have
Yeah,
gotten it right.
I know. No, the other
blew
one.
it.
I can't say the other one's name, or else you guys could get into my bank account. Not really.
Oh,
True.
But it's weird that your mother's maiden name is a code word for all that stuff when it's not hard to find out someone's mother's maiden
yeah.
name, you know? Anyway, though, the other grandpa,
What street did you grow up on?
Big Cock.
Oh wow.
That's why it's
Cul-de-sac.
so easy when I do my porn name. Yeah. So
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
anyway, he had this rug that was a tiger or cheetah, and it was a head, and then like the body was a rug. It was really gross.
Oh,
I'm sure it's something you would like, Dave Hill, because you seem like someone who would like that kind of stuff.
I am someone who would like that kind of stuff.
And I recall when I interviewed you a few years ago, you had a problem with you were telling me about at one point having had a problem with a lot of moths in your house.
Oh yeah.
And how that was a problem because you had fine linens and things.
I don't think I would have that I said I had
No,
fine
it wasn't
linens.
fine linens, but you had all sorts of fancy clothes.
Yeah.
We has velvet suits, for Christ's sake.
That's what I'm saying.
I like that you just made it the name of the store, Fine Linens and Things.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a good name of a store. Remember when Linens and Things is not around anymore, is
It's
it?
not?
I don't
No.
know.
I
Is
thought
it?
that was still a thing.
I don't know.
Then
I think
again,
that went
I don't
out
know.
with Lady Footlocker.
Do you remember when there was Stroud's? I got a lot of good betting at Stroud's. I'm having my own show in my own head right now. And it's also in the microphone. Okay. Anyway, yeah. See, and if you had moss, then I feel
I
like
did.
you would also enjoy this dead rug.
Well, I didn't enjoy the moths. I was against that.
I know.
What happened was I moved into this apartment. It was my friend's apartment, and he left some of his things there, including an Oriental rug, which I threw under the bed.
Yes.
And there was all these moths, and I was trying to get rid of them for like a seriously long time. And then one day, I was like, Dave, you should look under the bed. I bet something's going on under there. This is after like 6 months of Silence of the Lambs.
I feel fear in the
Type.
pit of my stomach, even though I already know what's coming.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Because I had moths. Like
I'm just seeing the scene in Batman where he goes in the cave the first time and they all like fly out at him.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
exactly.
I guess you would have become a superhero called Mothman if that happened. Maybe you did.
You got me thinking now. But no, there was this festering. The rug had basically become like this.
Moth nightclub.
Yeah, basically. No.
Club moth.
Yeah, club moth. Ladies drink free. Moth. But it was just like bubbling with whatever.
Larva.
Larva, yeah. And it was really negative experience for me.
How did you get it out of your house?
I put it in a picked it up with my hands, and then I put it in a garbage bag, and I threw it out. But then I cleaned up, and no more moths.
See, I think you're a little more tough than people might think. Because you touched larvae. You handled that yourself. You didn't call a specialist.
I'm a badass.
But do you feel like you get taken for not a badass sometimes?
Maybe. I don't know. I hope I wouldn't. I think when put to the test, I reveal myself to be a badass every time.
Clearly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking, and it's an insulting question. Are you a stealth badass, or are you an surface badass?
I'm stealth with everything.
Okay. So Dave Hill.
No, I mean, yeah, in my book, I mean, I apply lotion to scabies sores of a homeless man. I'm a man without limits.
You tell us some of the things that happen in your book. I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing yet, although I fully intend to.
Yeah.
I was just flipping through, and I was kind of in a bad mood. And I don't know if it was just serendipity, some kind of negative serendipity, or if it was just coincidence, but I landed on the chapter about depression.
Mm-hmm.
And then I experienced this weird, 2-day depression where I almost didn't even feel like talking, and it's a whole long separate story. But I thought, it's almost like I caught it from your book, except I don't think I did. I think it just sort of...
your book should come with a warning.
It just unlocked the depression that was already inside me.
I don't think you can blame my book for that. I think...
I think it was going to happen anyway.
It's going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like my book has the opposite effect, especially that chapter.
It was uplifting.
Yeah, it's uplifting. It's a coming of age tale. Yeah, you should read it.
No, I'm going to. But tell us some of the crazy fun things that happened in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I want to. Can I tee up a particular
Yes, you
thing
can.
that caught? I only read the press release because I was only introduced to the book 5 minutes before we went on. But I saw that you have.
We run a tight ship here, and we do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Looks
researched
great.
intensively. I researched intensively for those 5 minutes.
Nice.
You're fired.
That's why I get the big bucks.
I saw that you have gone to parties dressed as Santa Claus. Or
Yes.
there's something about. I have also done that. So I think we should talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. It's incredible. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride.
I agree.
I mean, because and I'm sure you've experienced, as I talk about in my best-selling book,
Tasteful Nudes. St. Martin's Press.
Now, you dress as Santa Claus, and everyone's super pumped everywhere. It's like your
Santa
big
Claus.
bird. Yeah, but like this, it's crazier than you could ever imagine. It's like a Barbra Streisand or something.
Wait, just to clarify, is this in mid-March or?
No.
True.
I'm just saying, I could see this being that weird.
Yeah,
And still being fun.
I think it would. I'm going to go on record as I haven't done it in mid-March particularly, but I think it would work year-round.
Okay, I
Yeah.
feel like instead of jumping to the part where we discuss what it's like to be dressed as Santa Claus, you need to explain why you were dressed as Santa Claus.
Okay, I got invited to this party, this Christmas party. It was like a benefit at this theater in Cleveland, where I'm from. And I was living there at the time, and these people were like, "Hey, Dave, you got to come to this Christmas party." And I said, "I'll come to your Christmas party if I can be Santa Claus." And they're like, "Oh, we already have someone being Santa Claus." And then I just stared straight ahead and I said, "I'll come to your Christmas party if I can be a Santa Claus."
Oh, that's
this
good.
is where the badass comes out.
Yeah, that's right.
So I said, "Yeah, I'll come to your Christmas party if I can be Santa Claus." And they're like, "This guy's not fucking with us." And they're like, all right. We did just buy a new Santa suit for the Santa Claus, the guy who's doing it, but we still have the old Santa suit, and you can wear that one and be more of... So he'll be like the sit-down Santa, and I can be more of a roving, on-the-go Santa.
Right.
Like giving
Santa
people...
in the field.
Yeah, quick Santa fix. And they give me this... So I went and I got the Santa suit a few days ahead of time because I want to take it for a test drive, get a feel for the what pulling on the velvet.
Live in the character.
Yeah, exactly. So I got it, and it was this nasty, it looked like it was pulled out of some World War II war bunker, and it was just nasty.
They did have a lot of those in the war.
Fluids. Well, yeah, because you got to cheer up the troops.
Exactly.
Agreed.
It's a USO kind of thing.
It was nasty, but I put it on and I started going to Christmas parties. that I had been invited to as Dave Hill, but not as Santa Claus. And you walk in, and everyone's like, "Oh my God!" Everyone's super pumped when Santa Claus walks in. But they're only excited about it for like a few minutes. Then they're like, "Oh, there's some guy showed up by himself. He's a little too close to the dog. He's wearing a Santa suit.
Yeah.
Hey, I think he went upstairs. Could you check what Santa Claus is doing up there?" And no one will let you play with your kids or whatever. So it's great for a few minutes, and it goes down. You lose that high really fast, and then you're like, "Well, I gotta go to another party, get my fix again."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bouncing around from party to party. Did you experience this?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's everyone has a zinger opening line, and then it doesn't go anywhere from there.
Yeah, can I sit on your lap?
Then you're just sitting
Is
there
it because they
staring at each
realized
other.
that no one ordered a Santa Claus and you're just sort of a Santa without papers?
I think it's just like, I think the real Santa Claus probably runs into this. or official Santa Clauses, I should say. I mean, you wait in line and you sit on Santa's lap, and then he's like, "All right, next." But no one's ever been confronted, really, I think, with having access to Santa for more than a couple minutes. But
You're
when
right.
you're in someone's living room, which is rare that a Santa Claus be in someone's living room, people are like, "Wow, be careful what you wish for. I wish this Santa Claus would get the fuck out of here."
You're right. You don't want him to linger.
No.
Because
So-
the whole point is he's busy.
Yeah,
it's a relationship built on scarcity, like from kids up. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't even see him as a kid, I guess,
Right.
except at the mall.
Right.
But it's like he wasn't built to be in your life for more than 2 minutes.
Right. It's like an
Yeah.
absentee
Yeah.
clause.
I can. My experience of dressing up as Santa Claus was a little more particular than this, or I don't know, weirder perhaps in a certain way. Twice I've dressed as the Dan Aykroyd Santa Claus from Trading Places for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
In the sense that I've taken a Santa suit and then like rubbed dirt on it to make it look all disheveled.
But that's where...
and
I'm
had
sorry.
it be open. And then I've actually pinned a side of smoked salmon on the inside of the suit because he, in the movie, he steals a side of fish from the.
Yes.
From
it always bothered me that like the beard attached to the fish action.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, you're not alone. It bothers a lot of people, and that's even
came out
worse
wrong.
because it's everyone. Well. The like two people that get it have a great laugh. The rest, you spend 5 minutes explaining the joke to them. And then it's basically done, and you're sitting there smelling like fish.
Yeah.
Which most people don't appreciate in an interaction, besides the fact that they don't have anything to say to Santa for more than 5 minutes. So the combination of the two makes it like doubly awkward when that's your particular Santa gambit.
Yeah, but I admire your commitment.
Thank you.
And a lot of people wouldn't carry fish on their person.
A lot of people would not. A lot of people would
kudos.
not. And yeah, it's really a joke only for me because I would also eat the fish throughout the night, and that really turns people. If they were like on the fence with you at the beginning.
Is that a commitment to the character or hunger?
I don't know. I think it's like the first time it was when it wasn't like going swimmingly, like everyone wasn't like carrying me on their shoulders for being so brilliant. Then like eating the fish was like a giant fuck you to them to be like, okay, then this is going to happen.
I'll show you I'm going to eat fish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me one of my favorite tweets of all time, one of my favorite Dave Hill tweets, which it's not just one of my favorite Dave Hill tweets, it is one of my favorite tweets of all time, courtesy of Dave Hill.
Thank you.
But I am not going to remember the wording exactly, but it was something like, my neighbor cooked fish for dinner and now I feel like I taped fish to my face.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
What was it, though? Do you remember it exactly? Because it was very funny the way you wrote it.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's from way back.
I know. I've been a fan of your tweets and you for a really long time.
Well, likewise.
The way I was introduced to you, I went to some showcase for, was it Generate? Is that your management?
That's,
in New York. I think it was at, it may have been at
Ars
UC.
Nova?
Yes. Yeah, and that's the first time I ever saw Pete Holmes as well.
Oh,
and
nice.
you presented
I love Pete.
a clip.
A video, yeah.
Yes, from the New York drinking show.
Yeah.
That was my first experience of Dave Hill.
Oh.
And I was like, who is this guy? He's hilarious. He has a fuzzy microphone and he's dressed weird.
Oh, thanks.
But in a very jaunty way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not dressed jauntily now.
I know you're undercover.
Yeah. This is my on-the-go look.
Right. So you are, like me, a multi-hyphenate.
Right.
Do you embrace that term? I don't.
I mean, sure. I mean, I don't use that term, but
No.
I know what you meant.
I wonder if there's anyone who uses that term.
You just did.
No, but I used it in jest.
Yeah.
That's sort of like people who refer to themselves as metrosexuals, and I think, no, you're not allowed to call yourself that. Other people call you that.
That's like when people call them. I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm so weird," or "I'm so fucked up." Like, it's like I can't think of a single person who's genuinely weird or fucked up that would ever call themselves that.
Right.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I think when people are like, "Oh, I'm so weird," it's like, no, get out.
You're just quirky
Stab
and
you.
trying to.
No, yeah, you just want to be thought of that way,
Right.
but you're not.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck them and the multi-hyphenates.
I want them all to go on an island, and then I want that island to fall into the sea. That'd be weird,
Oh,
but not. Okay. So anyway, Dave Hill,
Yeah.
you're a really good musician.
Thank you.
People might not know that about you.
thanks.
They might just think or they might not know you're a really good comedian. Or do you feel like they know that you're all these things? And which of them is the one you're most passionate about?
I guess it's up to opinion. Some people will be like, "Oh, I know Dave's a comedian, but I hate him." They might. Hopefully not, but
I don't see how that's possible.
well, I realize people. It's very subjective.
But you're like a super duper professional, accomplished musician. You've toured with bands. Mm-hmm. You
I still do.
Who do you play with currently?
I have my own band, Valley Lodge. We're pretty obscure, but we make records and play shows occasionally. Our music's in a lot of things people don't realize, like movies and TV. And
Do you want to name some of those things?
sure, there was a Sonic, the foot-long Western hot dog.
Wow.
Maybe you heard our song "All of My Lovin'."
Oh, I've heard that song.
That's the big
The hit.
And then there's on the Raising Hope program, they play the songs a lot. Cougar Town, some movies, some teen movies, and GMC Truck. Yeah, the list goes on.
I know.
And on.
That's cool, though.
It's cool because it pays money that I can use to make more music and buy guitars and things. Because when I buy guitars, I'll be like, "This is paying for itself already."
Exactly.
And that's one of I only spend money on two things, and guitars is one of them.
And you probably don't even have to spend it on footlong hot dogs. I bet they just give those to you.
I'm set for those now.
And then you also played with Walter Schreifels, though, right? Or do you still?
I still do, yeah. Walter Schreifels from Gorilla Biscuits and Quicksand and Rival Schools. I still play in his solo, the Walter Schreifels band. We tour Europe usually like once a year. And I have a band with Moby called Diamond Snake. I don't know if we're still a band or not, but I saw him last night, and
You saw Moby last night?
saw Moby. He was at my reading last night.
He lives in New York, though, right?
He lives here now.
Oh, I
he has-
didn't know.
He has places in both towns, but he lives here primarily.
What's he like?
He's an awesome dude. I think he got a bad rep maybe 10 years when around 10 years ago when the Play album was out, and he got in a fight with Eminem or something. But he's totally very sweet, very funny, very generous.
Do you guys hear the news
Poon
story
hound.
about somebody breaking into his house?
Yeah, well, this is
This is fucking. This is the most endearing story ever.
I
love Moby based on this.
that basically sums up the poon hound that he is. No, he is a poon hound, but I don't know, not in the context of this story. I just trying to use that word a lot because Dustin's mom's listening. Yeah, he lives in somewhere near here, and yeah, some guy wandered into his house. He has like a giant castle somewhere, and this guy wandered in, as you know, and he went to sleep on his couch, and then one of Moby's house guests was like, "Hey, who's the guy on the couch?" And Moby's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Oh, there's this guy, like shirtless, I think, maybe, sleeping on the couch, and Moby goes in. It's like, hey, what's going on? Like, didn't like freak out. Was like, hey, and the guy apparently had wandered in. He was on acid or something, and so Moby gave him some clothes and some money, and was like, all right, good luck.
That's so nice.
Is that not the awesomest thing ever? Like,
would anyone here do that? I would freak out probably.
Yeah, Moby did not. He was, and it's not like he didn't call the police or anything. He's just like, hey, man, sorry you had a rough night.
Yeah.
I think he
That's really nice.
since now locks his doors, but I think that's reasonable.
I would hope so, but that's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
is that not the nicest, most human thing to do? I mean, he wasn't, guy didn't damage anything.
Just came
Yeah.
in to take a nap.
That's the Moby I know.
What if the guy had been dressed as Santa Claus? How would
feel
that
like
have
it'd be
affected
even
things?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends if he had fish in his Santa Claus breast pocket. So, Dave, you arranged a lunch with a high-end prostitute and became an unwitting accomplice to the theft of 300 pounds of meat. Oh, weird. I thought
That's
it was...
right.
Are those the
thought it
same
was gonna be
story?
ham.
Because
No.
they're on the same bullet. I was confused by that.
Well, I didn't write that press release. Those are two separate.
You know what? I'm going to rip it up.
Those are two separate stories, but the punctuation's probably wrong.
I was kind of hoping they were the same because that would be
Well,
amazing.
I mean, they're both pretty good on their own.
Oh, I believe
But
it.
you're right.
But you
You're
can
right.
imagine if you, following the lunch
Well,
with
yeah.
a high-end prostitute had.
I wanted her to
sort
be
of
involved.
caper.
Yeah, I wanted her to be involved in the theft of meat.
I feel like I could have gotten
In a way she
on
is.
board for that. But what happened was, I can tell you either one if you want. You know.
to surprise us.
All right. Okay. I'll tell you. I'll give you like 30-second versions of both. I was working at a homeless shelter right after college in New York, and I was the lowest level employee you could be, and I basically did drug tests for people, like helped serve food, did bed checks. Used to walk on and this guy jerking off every single time. Applied lotion to scabies sores. It was like whatever needed doing, I did it. And so they promoted me to supervisor one night. They gave me the keys. I was in charge of the entire place. Overnight shift. The cook comes in and he's like, "Hey, Dave, wait." Oh God, I was just drinking water.
Yeah.
So the cook comes in. He's like, "Dave, can I borrow the keys? I want to get some meat out of the fridge." And in my pretty young thing from Cleveland mind, like 22-year-old Dave is like, "Oh, he must just want to defrost some meat at midnight. That's reasonable because he's cooking for like 80 people tomorrow." So he's like, "All right, cool, thanks." And he give me the keys back like 20 minutes later. I go back into work the next day. They're like, "Oh, did you hear what happened last night?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Jim stole." I forget what I changed. That's not his real name. But he stole. I forget what I call him in the book. But he stole 300. He's like, he stole 300 pounds of meat last night, and I'm like, what? How did that happen? They're like, oh, somebody gave him the keys to the refrigerator, and I was like, no, that's. I didn't say it was me. I mean, they knew, and my brother was like a higher up. He was like on the actual
Nepotism.
He got me the job, and he worked on like he was a social worker. And I asked him, I'm like, what? No one ever said anything to me about that. And he's like, I don't think they really blamed you. But what happened was, I thought I was promoted because I was doing a great job and like I was just rising up the ranks. And it turned out, I was like, well, why did he steal all that meat? They're like, oh, for crack. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, he's a crackhead. Like, he's selling the meat. I'm like, where? And they're like, on the street. I'm like, who buys meat on the street?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this. So I'm like, why?
It's true. I've never heard of the frozen meat black market.
Yeah, like he's moving
You wouldn't.
300 pounds of meat, like at midnight in like, in Harlem, and so he sells it for
Meat
crack.
from a homeless shelter.
Yeah, and then so I was like, what do you mean he's a crack? He's like, yeah, everyone who works here is a recovering crack addict. So people would disappear, and I'd be like, oh, I guess they got a new job. And then the guy's like, no, he's a crackhead. Like, when someone doesn't come back to work, it's because they're back on crack. So the only reason I was promoted, like, was rising up the ranks because I wasn't on crack.
Right.
They were like, well, Dave's not going to smoke crack at work. Let's give him the keys.
Well, I'm kind of impressed by his crime, though, because first of all, 300 pounds of meat is 300 pounds. Like it.
Well, he had an accomplice.
I think he had junkie strength.
Right. But even for two people to drag, I mean, for like if you and I wanted to drag a 300-pound person out of here, I think we'd struggle.
That we would, but that we would know we'd be getting that delicious crack.
Exactly.
But
the other
it
end of
probably
it.
wasn't a side of cow, though. It was probably cut up in bits. And then Dave, the sleepy meat warden, who wasn't paying attention, you know, they probably took a while to get the meat out. I'm sorry to rub it in.
Well, he
It
said
took a
that he
long
returned the keys in like 20 minutes.
20
Maybe
minutes.
That was
okay.
exaggerated.
Yeah.
But then to be able to unload it, like I see this whole like Italian job, like heist planned by this crackhead. Maybe I'm just, trying to make it
And
more
I'm
exciting.
like Barney Fife sitting like in the front, like, oh, I got this place under control. I was never allowed to be in charge after that. I continued working there, but I went back down to my low level.
Oh.
So that was that. I know that wasn't the 30-second version. That was almost a real-time version of the
Was that
story.
disappointing that you weren't able to rise in authority above people who were on crack?
Well, I did once.
Right, but you just now is this a case of like water seeking its own level, or do you feel that the man held you down?
No, I feel like the man gave me a chance. So I'm going to go through the water thing. Yeah, I just wasn't. I feel like if I had to do it over, like maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have happened.
Sometimes you're not meant to do certain things.
Right. I was meant to be in show business,
That's
not
right.
be in charge of meat.
It's a way, you don't hide your light under a bushel behind homeless people near crackheads and frozen meat.
Exactly. But I will
Speaking-
say it was a fun job, just for the hijinks, like the what's going to happen next sort of stuff.
Exactly.
See, I've often felt to be successful in show business, you have to have those types of hijinks-filled jobs.
Yeah, it's like
you're building your library without knowing that you're doing it. But then
Right.
later, when the time is there. But I'm sure that's not true. People who are funny can probably, take whatever they have happened in their lives. but-
Dustin, you and I both worked at Time Out in New York, and that was full of hijinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really in the same way. Exactly.
I'm joking. There were no hijinks except Dustin tried to make wine, and it was like this. We called
That's
it,
true. I had to create my own hijinks. Basically.
How did you made wine at work?
I attempted it.
That's
yeah.
like prison behavior. Like what? How did you do that?
We were doing an issue. We did.
I made hatch marks on the wall. It was like prison.
Well, yeah. So Time Out was like a local entertainment magazine. So
It's reputable.
yeah, it's reputable.
It's a
but
global-
every 10
That's right.
issues were like on drinking
Yeah.
because like there's only so
The
many.
bars, summer bars.
Right, there's only so
Winter
many
bars.
things you do when you go out in a city, and then
Solstice bars.
the exercise of working at Time Out is to constantly reinvent those
Yeah.
things as though they're new.
Pizza.
So it's like drinking
Restaurants.
again and
I
and burgers again.
I fall for it every time though. Every time a cover comes, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
there's bar new.
you do until you work there and you realize how kind of cobbled together it is by people who don't actually have the
until
free
you
time to
see
go to
how
bars.
the sausage is made,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
how the wine is made.
Well, I never end up going anywhere except for 100 yards from my house. But
I know.
but I like that the coverage is there.
Yeah, no, it's all aspirational. Even though, like buying Time Out represents a very low level of aspiration. It's like I'm going to go to these 5 bars in the Lower East Side, but
Yeah.
even people don't make it that far. But yeah, so as part of one of these drinking issues, I was like, I'm going to experiment with making my own beer and wine. I'm going to do it in the office, and I'll blog about it because we were looking for stuff that we could blog about it because blogging was new and hot back then.
Oh, it's really hot.
Yeah, I mean it's still white hot, but I mean back then it was fresh and hot.
Did
Yeah.
you know it's short for weblog?
A lot of no.
We still knew that back then.
Yeah, we were just kids.
I know.
So yeah, the wine didn't. It turns out that leaving the grapes next to the radiator is not an effective
Negative.
storage
It smelled and looked awful.
method. Yeah,
But you can it had alcohol in it, right?
it did.
So there's that. I mean,
Yeah,
this goes back to the prison thing. Like I feel like if that were your only, like in prison,
In prison, people would have drunk it happily, I think.
Didn't you put oatmeal in it?
That was the beer.
Oh, okay.
The beer tasted
Oh.
delicious and was very highly alcoholic. The beer was a rousing success.
What kind of beer was it?
It was brown ale. Was like I got this beer making kit that was brown ale, but my special touch was to add Quaker instant cinnamon sugar oats. And I didn't really think about this, but adding the extra sugary oatmeal mix gave the yeast extra
It's
stuff
like throwing
to
gasoline onto a fire.
yeah, to turn alcohol out of. So it was like a, I didn't. They gave you this little. There's I don't know, these like chemistry implements where supposedly you can like judge the alcohol content of what you've made, but that was far too complicated for me. So
Is there some kind of pipette?
yeah,
That's
it
just a
was-
term I remember from chemistry.
Exactly. I think there was a pipette, and
pipettes.
and there were instructions which I ignored. So all I can say is that it got you shit faced off of like a bottle and a half of it. I don't
nice.
know what the actual alcohol content was, but we all tried the beer one afternoon in the office, and then everyone was drunk afterwards. So that I considered that
Yeah.
a fantastic thing.
You know what goes great with beer, and also with the meat story that Dave told earlier?
Prostitutes.
Yes, but also steak. And you know the best
Oh, yeah.
thing to use to make steak is the man grate, which is a great Father's Day gift. And Father's Day is coming up, by the way. This is a read, in case you're wondering why I suddenly
thought you
have
were,
like a
like,
crazy intensity.
You suddenly
That
turned
was-
into
that was seamless.
You turned into like Joe Franklin all of a sudden.
Thank you. I
You
bet
guys
he
don't
would
know.
enjoy. No, I do, and I think that he would have enjoyed. He's
Joe's
not
still with us.
Oh, and he
Go
would.
call him right now.
Right now, he might be enjoying.
We should call him.
The man grate, which is the best steak grilling implement money can buy, and it's only $20. It's 100% made in America, 100% cast iron, 100% steakhouse quality grilling in your backyard, and it's not just for steak; it's also for veggies or chicken or lamb
Anything
or
you
other
want. Sounds
things.
like
Yeah, you could
anything
cook
you wanna
balloons
grill.
on it, and they would
Anything-
taste delicious.
Anything you want to grill, it sounds like, and it's only $20.
That's right.
Which
And-
seems crazy. It's like these man grade people don't even want to make money.
I know. They're just giving them away. That's how much they believe in the product. And they've been one of the Ace Broadcasting Network's oldest sponsors. Everyone loves Man Grate. Whenever you give them one, they're always like, this is amazing. I had heard you say all these wonderful things about it, but I didn't think it could be true. It's super heavy. That's the main thing about it.
That's
it's
what
so
makes
heavy.
it manly.
Yeah, because
there's
you'll
probably
try to
like
pick
an
it up and
extra
then
weight
you're...
underneath just so that you can. It's not for functional purposes, just to feel manlier when you're using it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. It
all of
suggests
all of the
achievement.
weight and all the heft goes into preventing dry meat and flare-ups, which sound like lady problems. I wish I hadn't said that. I say it every time, but it sounded more disgusting this time. Anyway, click on the Man Grate banner at AlisonRosen.com to order your Man Grate. Take advantage of the special $20 Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend special today by clicking on the Man Grate banner at AlisonRosen.com. And not only will you get an amazing Man Grate, but you will get a Man Grate grilling brush free.
Are you kidding?
I'm not.
That's
I would never make this up. This is all...
Man, the last couple times you said man grade, it started to sound like a sexual technique.
What would it be?
Like, I got the wildest man grade last night.
That would be a scary. I mean, you don't want grating, I think, involved in
No,
any
but
of
you
your
want something
sexual
that's great.
techniques.
Yeah.
I was
gotta-
thinking like a cheese grater, and that I don't want that mixed up with sex for me personally. I mean, I don't. Everyone has their thing.
Some people are into it. Like, have you guys read 50 Shades of Grey? I'm going to guess you haven't. I need to... Are you
That's
familiar
a
with
lady
this?
thing,
I'm familiar
like dry meat.
with
I
it.
need to complain about this book. First of all, I'm embarrassed that I even downloaded it. However, I had to see what all the fuss was about. And I can't figure out what the fuss is about because, first of all, there's a lot of words and there's a lot of plot and it's poorly written and it's not good and the sex scenes
There's a
are
lot of sex,
few.
too.
Yes, but this is my impression of the book.
It's a piece of shit.
He licked my sex. Oh my God. I came in a million pieces. It's like, do you come that fast? Okay,
And
I've
in that
seen
many
her
pieces, that
Right. Well, she falls apart. She falls to pieces. That's pretty much how coming is described in the book. And okay, granted, then it goes into like a longer scene, but there's always like a sentence, and then she comes, and it's glorious. And I'm thinking, who only needs a sentence?
People love coming, though. I mean, that's what...
But this is
unites us as a
real
people.
show don't tell stuff.
Okay.
Like I feel like we're just supposed to take her word for it.
You'd
Yeah.
rather watch videos of coming than reading about it?
I thought I would try reading about it, but it's not working. It's not titillating my mind or my sense of reading good literature.
Or your sex.
Or my loins. Or my sex.
Now you've sold me on it, though.
I have.
No, I'd be curious to read it. Not all of it, but some of it.
Yeah, good luck.
The section you mentioned.
I think it's time to do topic sombrero. And as
Yeah.
I was saying to Gary before the show started, I can't figure out whether these are emails or topic sombreros because we had people email them in. Hence, I don't know which song to play. I'm really, really up Schitt's Creek.
Oh, you should play something by Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay, let's go topic sombrero.
It's the topic sombrero. We asked for topics and you sent them in. It's the topic sombrero. Now pick a topic and let's begin. It's the topic.
Is that you singing?
No, I'm not musical.
That's Trap Dog.
Solid.
He does the music. All right. Okay. I'm married and have been in a 7-year relationship with the love of my life. He's a local musician and has a fan base. My question is, how should I deal with the female groupie attention directed at my husband? He's not a cheater, and my issue stems from the many chicks throwing themselves at him. For instance, a few weekends ago, we were at a huge party. My husband and I were sitting listening to some other musicians. A chick comes and stands directly in front of me and
Wait,
starts...
she came?
in a million pieces.
Yeah.
Stands directly in front of me and starts saying, "Oh, you're so-and-so. We listened to your CD the whole way here. I love your music. I'm your biggest fan. Do you have any family here?" My husband proceeds to point me out, hidden behind her. What the fuck kind of question is, do you have any family here? I trust my husband, but these groupies are driving me bonkers. If you have any help, I'd love to hear it. So I bring this up. None of us are married. But you're in a band, Dave.
Yeah, I'm a rock
and I'm a
roller.
chick, and Dustin, you're smart, and Gary, you're smart. So what do we think about this?
I think this lady is really insecure. At least from that story,
Yeah.
sounds like the woman in question didn't say anything weird or inappropriate. I think she's got to get it together. She, on the one hand, she says her husband's not a cheater, but on the other hand, she's wildly insecure and just needs to get her shit together.
I think that groupies and female attention are part of the whole thing of being in a band, and especially being in a successful band. And if you want your husband to be successful, which you should, then you should be happy that he's getting this kind of attention, and you should realize that if you trust him, which it sounds like you should, and which you do, then you shouldn't care about the attention that's paid to him. You should just actually be happy about it and sort of amused by it. It doesn't mean he's going to do anything about it.
But isn't that easier said than done? I mean, maybe I don't have the faith in women that I should, but I'm not sure that I know a lot of very, sort of confident, self-assured women, but I'm not sure I know many who would be just completely okay and not just a little bit insecure with knowing that their husband has sort of sex available, on a constant basis, like from random women all the time. I feel like that's a disconcerting situation to be in.
Yeah, I do too. But I think that she can't control her husband, and she can't control the attention that he's getting. All she can control is her reaction to it. And I don't see anything nefarious on the face of it. So therefore, I think she needs to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. But it sounds like she wants you to be like, you got to give that guy a talking to,
right?
And kick those girls in the taint. But she shouldn't do that.
The real advice would be more blowjobs, just in case.
No, that doesn't work.
Oh, really?
No, it's a numbers game.
I don't know what you mean by that. I feel like it would work for me. I haven't attained rock star status yet.
Because, well, I'm not saying like he's going to act on it, but like if he is interested, her giving him blowjobs over and over, it's the same mouth on his penis. He's gonna want the attraction is the multiple lips.
He wants strange mouth.
More lipstick on his dipstick.
Right.
Various shades of gray.
Well, do you think that she can trust him?
I don't know. I don't have enough to go on. It sounds like she thinks. It sounds like a nice guy, and she should just. I think I called her a bitch earlier, but I was kidding.
I don't think you did.
I didn't. Okay,
Maybe you did.
I just thought it.
We'll have to listen back.
I don't think you are. What is her name? The woman that wrote the letter.
Oh, I never said her name,
Oh,
but I
okay.
think she signed it Jealous Janie.
No, I think she, like what you're saying, she should, it's part of, if you're doing something like that, music or comedy or whatever, anything where you're like putting yourself out there and giving something, like relating to other people, them reacting to that and being interested and also appreciating him in the way that she does. Like, the other people are just seeing the same thing, what makes her love him. She should be like, oh, everyone is reacting to this. It's cool. And she shouldn't feel threatened, because, I think she's just got to have faith in it. If he does cheat, then you kick him in the taint.
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is that this situation is going to come up repeatedly.
Yeah.
Unless he grows some kind of unattractive beard or gains a bunch of weight.
That won't even do it.
What are you
Doesn't
saying?
matter. Yeah. What do you say?
Oh, well, you guys both have beards, but
I don't.
but not
I mean,
that I'm imagining some kind of like ugly beard that has birds or bats nesting in it. or
No,
something.
that doesn't stop it.
I know. Look at ZZ Top.
Doesn't stop it.
I know. Yeah. So there's nothing she can do to stop the fact that this situation is going to happen repeatedly. So either she can tear herself up every time it happens and try to. And by the way, this is coming from someone who has battled the desire to attempt to control everything in a situation for my whole life. So I totally relate, but I'm just saying what I've learned and what I believe to be true is that all you can control is yourself and your reaction, and to try to do anything more is you're just adding misery to an already uncomfortable situation.
She's asked by exactly. She's only going to make it worse. It's like if you have a dog, and he's running around the yard, and he's like, get in here. You're chasing him around. Get in the house. He's just going to run around and run away from you. But then if you're like, oh, man, I'm just going to go water the flowers or something, the dog always just walks right up to you. Mm-hmm. And is like, yeah, let's go back in the house. So in this scenario, her husband is the dog, even though he sounds great. But she should just be like, yeah, this is cool. I'm going to do my thing. Everything's going to be all right. It may not be. But she'll know.
I would say, genuinely speaking now, if she feels like she just can't handle the situation, then she should avoid the situation.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that she can control that.
But she might be going to try to control it.
I know, but I mean, we're all agreeing that that's not that's just going to lead her into bad situations.
Yeah.
So as a way to sort of like, as a preventative measure to getting into bad situations that it sounds like she's tempted to get into, maybe just, let him have his sort of groupie time on his own. And, if you trust him to deal with that, then you trust him. And, just don't have to witness that and have those thoughts in your head.
Exactly. Gary, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that her putting herself in the situation, you said she might be going to try to control it. She has absolutely no control over anything, regardless of whether she is or is not there. In fact, she loses control over her emotions if she is there, because outside factors are weighing on her emotions, where if she was at home, yeah, she's imagining it, but it's not in her face. Like, she's not physically witnessing it.
It sounds to me like you're saying she should just get her tits done.
I mean, yeah.
Which I'd agree with.
And blowjobs.
Yeah, and blowjobs. No, I don't think she should get her tits done. Sounds like she did already, though. Sure.
Sometimes people get them done again, though.
They can. You can do that. I'm against it. I don't think people should do it.
Once
I haven't
or
done
twice.
Just at all. I like natural jugs.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's magazines for people like you, Andrew. From what I hear.
Yeah. Home of the D cups.
Are there magazines for people who just want them fake, though, or is that all magazines?
I think if it's not specified that it's natural jugs, then you have to assume that there's going to be a lot of fake jugs in the mix.
I have a friend, and if he's listening, hi, I'm not going to say your name, but he was attracted to one of my friends in New York, and he knew who she was because he had seen her on TV and on Facebook, I think, and she got her breasts done, and he was asking me, like, how long ago did she get them done, and I told him, and he's like, oh, that's great, they're probably, like, just breaking in nicely now, and I thought, ew.
This guy sounds like a real piece of work.
Yeah. He had a taste for fancy clothes just like you.
I don't know that they break in. I don't
know. I've never dealt with them.
Up close?
I've been hit in the face with them.
Is that like at a strip club?
Yeah. When I was a younger man, footloose, fancy free, and all that. My friend got married. His bachelor party. And I'd never been hit in the face by fake boobs before. So
it's a rite of passage.
We're at this strip club at, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon or something. And the featured performer was like, what's a good name?
Cheyenne.
Destiny.
Yeah, she comes out and like, I'm like holding $1 out, thinking she'll just be like, thank you. 'Cause I'm not.
Tip of the cap.
I never. I didn't know anything was going to happen. I thought she'd be like, oh, thank you, sir. But she takes the $1 and then grabs my head and just bludgeons me with these boobs. And they're just like smacking me around. And it was not erotic at all to me. I was just like, what is happening? Like, I wanted to call my parents and have them pick me up. Like, I was just like, but
how long did it go on?
It felt like it went on for at least half of that, girls song.
Was it like those desk things where there's like all those balls and you lift one and it knocks the others and then they go back and forth?
Yeah, but there's only three balls.
And your face is the middle one,
ball.
Yeah.
But that having been said, so I was the first one, and then when everyone saw that, everyone wanted to get hit in the face with these boobs. So I guess, I was the first one. I feel like I got a fresh set of boobs. Everyone else got had other people's.
It's like they were slapped
your
with your
sloppy
face.
Boob section.
Yeah, and chicken wing sauce and everything, and Bud Light and whatever, But I got like the fresh cans on my face. So then another lady came out who had even bigger breast implants. She was sort of in the twilight of her career, I sort of imagine. And I was talking to her beforehand. She's like, honey, do you have any cocaine? I didn't. But, I'm just saying, like, we were really chatting.
Yeah. Sounds like
this
you're
is
bonding.
what I've learned. Strippers ask for cocaine, and I don't have any. But they'll ask you for it.
Why wouldn't you bring it if you know you're going to a strip club?
I know. It's like, I should bring. It's like bringing.
It's like a Boy Scouts kind of thing. Be prepared.
To have some cocaine for the ladies. Anyway, so she gets on stage and she had these even bigger boobs, and I was like, well, I should probably see what it's like to get hit with these now.
Oh, once you got a taste for the face slap.
But hers were so big, they were like, literally like as big, like volleyball size. Not like, so she couldn't even really slap me with them. They more just sort of grazed.
Right. She didn't have fake boob mobility.
No, but the other one who had, hers were like grapefruit size or like,
small cantaloupe.
Yeah. She was able to like actually take my face and engulf me in her fake jugs.
Like a gong.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a gong.
Maybe she told her doctor. Maybe she chose the size that was optimized for face slapping. Maybe she was like, "Look, I want to go big, but I need room for a head in between there."
Yeah. What would you need to figure that out?
Professionally
Physics?
speaking, I feel like when you go to doctors and they have those like plastic models of whatever like body part they work on, like knees, where they can show you which ligaments snap off. Like I feel like a plastic surgeon could have like a skull there, and you could be like, well, does it fit? And then they could try different sizes.
Well, you can actually hold The implant. You can do. I've done that. Like, have you ever held an implant?
Yeah, like at a restaurant when they're like, "This is your lobster."
Yeah. Here's your implant. And I think if you
actually.
hold those implants, I went to a plastic surgery convention at the Jacob Javits Center.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Sounds
Actually,
like
What's
that
the, yeah.
that should be in your
Covering it
book.
with my fuzzy microphone. And so I was holding them, and I think if you hold them and you still say, "Yeah, slap those in there," I think you're insane. They're these heavy, gross.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Just read like a book or something. Work on your personality.
I don't think reading a book accomplishes the same thing.
And I feel like
what these implants are
Not at
purchased for.
50 Shades of Grey is probably what these people are heading towards book-wise.
yeah.
I'm just saying the person who goes for the fake breast might not be the most literary. No offense to the ladies with the fake jugs or who don't like to read. I held one because there was this kid that I went to school with whose dad was a plastic surgeon, and we did this thing called Fourth Grade Superstar, which is where people's parents come in and give like a little speech. And I think his dad brought in some fake boobs. And then also in...
What? That's insane.
So
someone
weird.
else's dad...
He would be arrested today.
Someone else's dad, I know, brought in a liver that had cirrhosis. It was so
I
disgusting.
could see that. But the fourth grade superstar sounds creepy, like some child molester. Get over here, my little fourth grade superstar.
Yeah, well, everyone got to be superstar for a little while.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got to catch this predator.
Yeah. And then also we had the seventh grade egg drop, which is where
This is disgusting. What is that?
all the girls ovulate. No, it's where you have to drop an egg from a height and create some kind of packaging around the egg so that when it drops, it won't break.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
And someone dropped his egg, the same boy dropped his egg into a bucket of fake breasts.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was fine.
Did the other one drop his egg into a cirrhosis adult liver?
No, I wish though. I'm trying to remember what I dropped mine into. I can't remember. Probably some box with Kleenex in it. Did you guys do any of these things in school?
I didn't do that, but I know of that thing. But as I understand it, like people, you can put like a milk carton. Can you? You
Yeah.
have to drop it into something. It has to land in something, or can you like?
I think it
surround
can
in
be
something?
surrounded in something.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh, I thought ours had to be. It's like half of it has to be exposed, so you can like cushion it at the bottom, but you can't just like encase it in
I can't remember.
like because you just like bubble wrap around it. I feel like
Yeah, that's cheating.
yeah,
Or put it in an egg carton,
Yeah,
which is actually a good way
yeah.
to cushion an egg.
which is that's why they do it.
I think
I know, and yet that never occurs to anyone.
No.
I think I had a scheme that involved Jell-O, but I wasn't able to pull it off.
Dustin, I was trying to tell someone your story recently. How early did you graduate? What's your deal? You're vaguely Doogie Howser-ish.
You're a walking miracle.
I skipped one grade,
Oh.
which I mean, yeah,
It was more exciting in my
But
mind.
I had the impressive way to tell the story is that I graduated when I was 20 from undergrad, from college.
Oh my gosh.
But it's but I only did skip one grade, and then I had a birthday that made me like among the younger members of my class.
What
my
grade did you
class
skip?
that I should have been in, 8th grade.
Yeah, that's
So-
when all the important stuff happened.
Right.
We
So
put on
what-
a musical.
Yeah. So when I was 20, I turned 21 within a few months. You know, like many people are 22 when they graduate, and I would have been just turning 22 if I were.
Wait, so
in the
you
normal
went from
grade.
7th grade to freshman year in high school?
Yes.
You missed like a whole year of fingering.
Trust me, there was no fingering going on during that year.
I was not fingered in 8th grade.
No, I neither was I.
Okay, great. Gary?
But I'm told it happened. I didn't. Nope.
Yeah.
No, I heard about it. I didn't. I was neither
The
fingered
fast
nor
kids.
I think. Yeah. You hear it goes on.
Oh,
Right.
it for sure was going on. There was a
Like,
girl.
did you hear Kim got her period like that?
yeah.
no, beyond-
like yeah, behind the backstop.
There was a girl in my class who had to miss like the second semester for being pregnant. So I mean, there was
wow.
some stuff going
In
on.
what? In 8th grade?
7th grade.
7th grade. Wow.
But I was not in the fingering or impregnating crowd.
How
Me
did she get
neither.
pregnant?
Not at all. I still.
I mean,
not.
I know actually how she got pregnant, but I mean, what were the circumstances there? Because 7th grade, like I presumably she just became able to be pregnant.
Yeah,
Okay.
we weren't tight enough to really get into the backstory.
I would say it started with her father not being there for her.
I think you're probably right. I think it's time to do some Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right, let's see here. Okay. Justin B says, after driving to a store and there's a lot of text on the screen and I haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a big one.
we're all going on this adventure together, this adventure to find out if this is a good one or not. After driving to a store and walking halfway to the front door, you realize you forgot something in your car. I will always grab the forgotten item out of the passenger door so it doesn't look like I forgot it at home and I'm about to drive all the way back home after having just arrived, even if said object is all the way on the driver's side of the car. What?
That's just you.
I can't even follow
I don't
that.
get that.
I
and
don't
it's just
either.
him.
that made my brain hurt.
I can't.
I want to get
don't
it.
even understand.
And I'm going to take you guys. Okay, after driving to a store and walking halfway to the front door. Yeah, I know I should move on, but I have to. After driving to a store and walking halfway to the front door, it's like a word problem. You realize you forgot something in your car. I will always grab the forgotten item out of the passenger door so it doesn't look like I forgot it at home and am about to drive all the way back home.
Okay, I got it.
This is
So he's saying
He
that-
doesn't want people in the parking lot to think he's getting back into his car.
and driving away, exactly.
Why? Why would he care?
Because it's just him.
It's just, sorry, Justin B, it's just you. Although I don't like when I go to get something out of my car and then people start to slow down because I want my parking spot and I have to do that that head shake.
You know what? If that's his logic, then I'm with him.
But that's my logic.
I'm not sure if that's
I
his
still
logic.
don't understand that logic.
If it's his logic, then... But my thing is, like, this whole scenario he's talking about, no one's noticing. Like, everyone's so far up their own ass. Like, no one's like, oh, did that guy forget something at home? Or what, you know?
Careful, you could kill this whole segment. No, you're absolutely right, though. That's the thing. That's the thing that I always think when other people tell me their stories, except I try to remind myself of this, but I don't always remember, is that when you walk away from a situation and you're like, oh God, and then I said this thing, and then I said this thing, and then I said this thing, the other person is also thinking about what they said. No one's really remembering exactly what you said.
That's true.
You know, when you feel awkward about a situation.
But getting to that, I view basically every human interaction as a failure on my part.
Really?
If I, not just like right now, I'll leave here and I'll be like, wow, I really ruined that
Well, that's accurate.
episode. And then,
Sorry.
But I'll get coffee in the morning. It's just something that simple. Getting from like, oh man, I really blew that transaction.
Do you really?
The more mundane the interaction,
even like
the more I feel I've failed it. It's
Yeah.
like, because I feel like I don't know that like your every sort of waking moment should be conducted as though it were like, you know, written the way a scene plays out in a movie. So when I order coffee, I'm like, I go up and I'm like, I think I want like a tall. Let me think about it. Like mocha. No wait, and then I feel like I should have.
You should have jaunty back and forth banter because you should know them because you go there every morning.
And been like, hello, Bill. I'm feeling great. I'm going to go with a tall today, you know? And it's like, and then they would be really, and they'd be like, that's a good choice. And there would be this really uplifting interaction. That's never how it works out.
That
Even like
sounds
simple,
cool.
when a like waitress comes up and she's like, can I get you anything? And I'm like, just water. Like, I feel like that there should be something more to it. Like,
oh, hey, Tina.
yeah. It's
The
like,
huge? Like that, yeah.
It's like, no, I'm hydrating right now. I don't know. I don't know what these sparkling pieces of dialogue should be, but I'm constantly disappointing myself.
That's me. Yeah. And I mean, I could have lunch with like one of my best friends and be like, well, they'll never agree to that again.
And do they?
They always do, yeah.
Yeah, they just keep coming back.
For more
Suckers.
punishment.
Gary, do you torture yourself this way?
No, not really. I mean,
Simple Gary.
yeah.
It's well adjusted.
I agree with Dustin's thing though, and I try to. I just said I try, but I've inadvertently started going to the same places so many times that I do know the people, so that I can have.
Oh, you're lucky. I
Yeah,
want
like-
that.
And the best way it's ever manifested itself is there's a bar that I go to after work a lot of times, not because I'm an alcoholic, but because they serve food until like 1 a.m. and we get out really late sometimes. So if I need dinner after work, I'll go to this place, and I know the bouncers really well, who are like these huge football player type guys. And one time a fight started up that I was kind of right in the middle of. I was just sitting there, and a bunch of guys around me started fighting, and that really saved me, knowing them. And because they without asking questions, threw out like 25 people. But since they knew me, they knew I wasn't part of it.
See, I barely even know my neighbors, which is a very New York
me too.
thing.
Yeah.
But I live in L.A. now, where you're supposed to. And so if there was ever a fight that broke out right outside my house, which there very well could be because it's not the best neighborhood, and I'm tired of hearing the yelling at night.
There is a sofa.
No, that got removed.
Aw.
There was a sofa, and then there was a mattress, and then there was a homeless man on top of them, but they're both gone. I mean, all three of them are gone. But anyway, no one would save me because no one knows me. And when I walk out in the morning, I often think to myself, should I like nod or say hi or do anything? And then sometimes I think, here's a confession. I'm wearing my retainers. I don't want to get stuck in a conversation. Because I decide to pop them in like once every 5 months. And this happened on
That's
that
when you see
morning.
people?
Yeah, exactly. I can't have a conversation wearing
You should
retainers.
just keep your go like this.
I know,
Go,
but
"Hi,
that'd be
I'm-
weird. No, I know,
I'm
but
Allison."
I am the person who, when I got my retainers, the cool thing was to have like crazy plastic color retainers. So mine are purple.
Oh, fun.
So it just looks like I'm like being deeply
It looks like
deprived
you've
of oxygen.
recently eaten a grape popsicle.
That's right. Hey, at least I didn't go for the Rasta colors or glitter, which some people did.
They have Rasta
Yeah, they're like
retainers?
exactly.
Is it for people that are into jam bands and stuff?
Yes, it's for people that go to Reggae Sunsplash. I don't know if they
Wow.
have that everywhere, or just in Orange County. All right. This is my favorite typo. Mitch Serp wrote, I can't decide if I want my socks on or off when I climb into beef.
I hope that's not a typo, because
I know.
like, I'm just like, Mitch, call me.
Well, I wrote back and I said, this is the best typo ever. And then Gary said, or the creepiest just me or everyone ever.
Climbing into beef. Ooh, maybe that's like a euphemism.
Yeah, for like
Oh,
man.
that's so gross.
for like tucking into a great steak.
yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking of that.
No,
way.
I was
like
thinking
a
of having
sexual
sex, yeah.
Oh, man.
Like parting the meat curtains.
You didn't get that in the original exchange?
No.
That was instantly what I
No,
thought was that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Is that what everyone instantly? This is a just
That
me or
was-
everyone, just me or everyone.
Well, that was my whole joke, was that if it wasn't misspelled, that it was a euphemism for him having sex, thus making it
Oh.
the creepiest J-Mo ever.
I want climbing into beef to be the new euphemism for sex.
I'm
The
with
socks
you.
on or off would make sense in that
Like,
context.
oh man,
Yeah, it would.
I would climb into beef with her. But it has to be sex with like a large lady with a floppity vagina to climb into beef, I would think.
Does that exist, the floppity vagina?
They're like snowflakes.
Right. But are some more floppy? I mean, obviously they are.
Yeah, I would say
All
so.
right. Matt SPLJ says, laying in bed before sleep time on your back and accidentally drop your iPhone, iPad on your face. Yes, I drop mine on my chest, but that has happened to me so many times, and it's always very, very jarring and painful, and I feel like, why did someone hit me? Oh, it was my phone. Because I'm holding it, and then I fall asleep, actually, and it
I
drops
do
out of
that.
my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm always amazed that I'm not hurt more seriously.
Yeah.
Because you could really take out an eye, break a nose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
probably
do
not,
that.
but it feels like there's a lot of velocity. Dustin, you
Sure.
look, you know.
Well, I have that doesn't happen to me, and it's for a specific reason, which is I feel like a corollary JMO, which is this implies that you're on your back operating the device. That's how it's able to drop
Yeah.
on you. I've never been able to, or I've never felt comfortable in that position, like either like reading a
It's not-
book
yeah, it's
or
not that
using the
comfortable.
phone or what. So like I'm always like on the stomach, like, you know, resting on my elbows, doing the, you know, phone, iPod, whatever. And I just like I've tried to like look cool in the park, like on my back reading a book, and it's totally uncomfortable, and I can't really read anything. Like the light can't, you know, get underneath there to illuminate when
It's
I'm
a
trying.
nightmare.
So I've just given up that cool. It is a cool looking posture, but I've just decided I can't pull it off.
I don't do
like
it
all
'cause
these
it's
disappointments
cool.
in my life. I've just
Yeah.
It's
I
not
think
for me.
you're too hard on yourself.
I may be.
Gary,
I just want a perfect life.
You can't. It's just out of reach. Wanting a perfect life will guarantee you'll never have
Misery,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Perfect is the enemy of good. Gary,
Yeah, it's
do you drop your phone on
It's
yourself?
definitely happened to me before. It's definitely happened.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
painful.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, but it definitely.
There should be some kind of phone holder, sort of like a harmonica holder, but a lot bigger. Like a wire you could just strap to something and it'll hold your phone there.
Oh,
because
I'm sure
it's
there's a
very
ridiculous
awkward.
hack.
Because when I'm on my back, sometimes I put a pillow on my chest to like prop my arm up so that I can read
That's what I
my
do.
tweets.
I like put it. I put like a pillow on my stomach, or I'll just put on a lot of weight and I'll prop it there.
That's a lot of dedication to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's you got to set aside a few months.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time now for a segment we call "Hey, Go Fuck Yourself."
Hey, go fuck yourself.
So many people to tell that they can go fuck themselves. So many
Yeah.
situations. I'm trying to figure out where to start. Okay. Well, on the Adam Carolla show recently, Adam and I were talking about how when someone gets your name wrong, if you don't correct them right away, it becomes very difficult to ever correct them, because it's like on week 4 of them still having your name wrong. And it's not someone you have a close relationship with, obviously, but it's someone you run into enough. Like, so week 4, it just becomes difficult to sort of to tell them, because they'll be like, why didn't you tell me sooner, or whatever. So I told a story. And by the way, this is like, it's not, this is cliche. I feel like there's probably been a Seinfeld episode about it. But I told a story about working at Time Out in New York. Dustin, there was someone that we worked with who thought my name was Andrea. And I didn't correct him, but it began to become cumbersome. Especially, it was weird because it was on email. So my name was right in the email, but he would still be like, hey, Andrea, in the email.
That's such a weird one.
Yes.
For me.
So finally, I got up the nerve to correct him. And he wrote back, he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It must be this heat, because it was hot. And anyway, I was like, oh, phew, at least that's over. And then, like 4 days later, he called me Andrea again. So I thought, okay, this one's not going to stick. And then we were at a screening of Short Bus, that John Cameron Mitchell. Do you know that movie?
Yeah.
Side note, I really liked that movie. I would like to see it again.
That's
It
the
made me
one,
cry.
With the
all
weird sex.
Yeah.
The guy jizzes in his mouth, like in the first 5 minutes.
I don't remember that part.
In his own mouth.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why it made me cry. I don't know. Side note. Anyway, though, so then I was supposed to interview the filmmaker, and this guy introduced me after the screening to the filmmaker for the first time and introduced
John
me as...
Cameron Mitchell?
Yes, introduced me
I
as
know him.
Andrea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did the same guy?
Yes, the guy who thought my name was he knew him, and he knew John Cameron Mitchell, and he was introducing John Cameron Mitchell to me because I was going to be interviewing John Cameron Mitchell, not at that time, but at a later time. And he's like, John, this is Andrea John. And then I didn't know what to do. So it was just a slightly, amusing what to do story. And anyway, someone left a comment, which is like, oh my God, the horror of being called Andrea when your name is Alison. And hello, that you missed the entire point of the story. The point isn't that it's awful to be called Andrea if your name is Alison. The point is it's awkward to try to correct someone. And anyway, it's just a delightful slice of life. You missed the point entirely. You guys are both looking at me like there's something weird on my face, though, so maybe everyone has missed the point. But to this commenter, I say...
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Well, also a double go fuck yourself, because no one likes to be called not by their name.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a legitimate thing to be annoyed about, even if it were the point of the story. Like, it's totally okay to not like that people call you by different names.
Yeah.
If this person were called by a different name by people, this person would be pissed off about it.
That's right.
So did John Cameron Mitchell then call you Andrea throughout the interview?
No, actually,
did you
because it
just
was
say
at a
it?
later time.
Oh.
And I introduced myself as Allison, and he called me Allison.
It all worked out.
Yeah, see, there was, I was worried for nothing, Dan. And then see?
That happens to me.
I bet.
People call me Dan sometimes.
Dustin, what do you get? Justin?
Justin.
Yeah.
And that actually happened to the email thing. This happens constantly, even in emails, where my name is clearly, I don't misspell my own name. And that happened when I was admitted to UCLA Business School. And they're like, congratulations, Justin. we really value your application and you as like an individual and whatever. And I'm like, yes, you're really expressing that by not even deciphering what my name actually is.
Oh, how horrible to be called Justin when your name is Dustin.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Any reaction from your mom to... Oh, she hasn't heard the episode yet. That's right. Okay. At the live show, which was last week, we continued the story of Dustin telling his mom to go fuck herself, and then she had to go fuck herself for Dustin, and it's quite a caper.
Whoa, it does sound.
Yeah, but it's all like it's all in good fun. Dave, do you need to tell anyone to go fuck themselves? And you don't have to force it,
including in your family.
No one in my family. I like my family. But no.
Don't hold yourself back.
No, maybe sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times, like maybe my extended relatives, not me, my immediate family.
Right.
They all, most of them have no idea what I do, and they don't have any. So, whatever I say I'm doing, they're like, no. And I love all of them. But there's been occasions where some of them will be like, I'll be like, oh, I'm. Like, even with the book, they'll be like, oh, you're writing a book? Oh, that's so great. You're going to write it and then see if someone will put it out, or you put it out. Like, I'm like, they think I'm just going to and it's fine if you do that. A lot of, 50 Shades of Grey person did that, and look at them. It's great. But they just, anything I'm doing, they always assume it's me, like, in my dad's basement, like, just barely... They're like, I'm like, no.
Like glorified dilettantism.
Like making macaroni art.
Yeah, and like I'm like, no, like, this St. Martin's Press, they're like a book they have an office. They gave me money.
Real.
They gave me money to write this, and they're just like, no, that's like what that would happen to a real person, not you. Like, they just think I'm this man-child, and like my cousin. He and his parents, I love them. He's always like, my parents are always just like, how does Dave survive? Like, how does he pay the rent? And so my cousin started like clipping, when he sees me in a magazine or something, will clip it like an old-fashioned way and mail it to his parents and be like, this is your nephew, like, everything's okay.
Yeah. And
but then I've learned, you just can't. So I guess I don't want to tell my relatives to go fuck themselves. But anyone who's just like, if you say you're doing something, they always assume like, yeah, you're just a dilettante, like,
right.
Just like completely delusional. And you want to be like, I've been on an obscure basic cable television show.
That's right.
Take me seriously.
I woke up every Saturday morning at 5 a.m. to do local news, goddammit. Yeah, well, that brings me actually to a sub Go Fuck Yourself, which is someone recently said something about how I'm someone who has no visible means of income and works about 15 hours a week. Hey, go fuck yourself. I don't know what I have to do to show. See, it's the same thing as what you're saying.
Yeah.
Why do people think that if you're in entertainment, you don't work? Hello, this thing you're listening to, that is work. Not that I don't love this podcast, not that I don't love the other podcasts.
For the show, I think we've established.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, like on the Adam Carolla show, that's a lot of work. I know that goes into what you people will say I'm not prepared enough for. Go fuck yourself on that one too. But like, it's a real job.
Yeah.
So, and also in terms of not having a visible, not ever having a visible means of income, you know that little box on the top of your computer where you can type things? You should try searching things before you jump to conclusions. It's called Google. Because I worked... See, I just sound like a whiny bitch. But it's like, I worked at magazines on staff for years. I've been working for a long time. So, hey, go fuck yourself.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
I'm so
with
cathartic
you. Wait,
when it
now
happens.
you've made me think of other ones.
Yeah, it's really annoying. What do I have? Do I have to be Laverne or Shirley for them to think that I have a real job? What involves visible means of income?
That was the most impassioned go fuck yourself yet.
But I almost threw my back out last time.
Probably the most alienating for everyone listening.
No,
Really?
I can.
Listening to
I totally
entertainment
relate
people
to that.
complain that they don't get credit for their hard work as entertainment people, I think is a subject that many people will.
Well, I think
not jump
Come
on
back,
board
you guys. I'm every woman.
I think a lot of times with entertainment, though, people think like if you enjoy what you're doing, you can't possibly be working.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I feel like I work my balls off, but I have a blast and I love the stuff that I do. You know, there's not people are like, well, you can't be working if you're home, like writing some retarded thing. Not that I'm not talking about my book. My book is gravely serious.
Yeah.
But I will say with the book, bringing it around to my
Please.
book, Tasteful Nudes, people are like, is it like as if I've never written anything before? And it's like before
You wrote for the New York Times.
Yeah,
for Christ's sake.
Before I went into comedy, I was a journalist. I wrote for major newspapers and magazines.
New York Times.
Like I was doing that. I was writing for major publications long before I ever did stand up.
Right.
So those people can go fuck themselves.
That's right.
Why don't I get the music?
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I just want to say something to Dustin's point because now he has made me think, and I hate when people do that. Not really. It's one thing if someone is, just doesn't quite understand how the whole thing that you do works. But it's another thing if they're using it to tear you down, which is what I'm getting, which is like that I'm, I don't know how the world works because I've never had any visible means of income. It's this, like, there's this notion that I've led this sheltered life that's been perfect and that I have parents who have supported me in everything. And that whole rosy picture could not be farther from the truth. And I've tried to explain this. And now I just sound like a whiny bitch, but like, I've had a far from perfect life. There's been a lot of tragedy and a lot of death that I've experienced. You don't get to be this way. Yeah. Just, leading the life people think I've led. So, you know what? All you people, go fuck yourselves.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Exactly. But yeah, you got to have a lot of manure to have a good crop.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Something.
I agree.
Pooh.
I just wanted to say that. No, you're totally right.
Thank you.
You're right.
I feel like you guys get me.
I totally get it. No, but oh, God, I'm enraged.
I'm sorry.
I just thought of like a lot of other people I wanted to tell go fuck themselves.
You can shout them out if you want.
But you know what you're talking about? There are people like, if someone's like someone's grandmother or like someone who's just is not going to understand. Like my mother did not, that someone's like, oh, David's on it. That's what she would call me. I would be like, I saw him on HBO, and my mom would be like, oh, someone saw you on HBO. That's good, right? Like and then she admitted, she's like, what's HBO? It's like she didn't have cable. So I understand like when my mom wouldn't understand. I totally get it. And when someone like that, or like my friend's dad, I was like at my friend's birthday party recently, and his dad's like, are you ever gonna get a job? Like, and like I'm like, I get it. Like but I didn't. I wanted to say like, no, that's the idea. Like I'm not ever going to do these things that everyone does. I don't want to do those things.
Right.
I want to do what I do. But there's people that are never going to understand that. But when it's done in a condescending way, sort of like there's people like, oh, real? Oh, you do? Oh, that's so good. You're trying to do. Oh, comment. Oh, you're still playing a band. That's so good that you just still do it, even though nobody cares. It's like, oh, you look like you're having so much fun up there. That's great.
It's so great that nowadays in this age of the internet, like you can just like do it yourself. You don't need like someone to back you and to recognize your talent.
Yeah.
You can just try anything.
Yeah, just go for it.
I feel like we need a hey, go fuck yourself to close this out.
Just to drive this fucker
the
home.
point home, yeah.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Gary looks like he's tired of playing this one. I don't get tired of hearing it. Well, gosh, you guys, we are nearing being out of time. But Dave Hill, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for getting up early from Glenn Danzig's bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be great? The thing is, gosh, I was so close to talking to Glenn Danzig last night for my birthday.
Can you get back there?
I feel like I can, because we talked about Glenn Danzig. He's like, do you want to call him? I'm like, yeah, we probably should call Glenn Danzig. It's my birthday, goddammit. We gotta, or somebody, call someone, you know. My friend also works with Slayer. I was like, call Slayer, do something.
Yeah.
But Danzig, that would be sweet. But we ended up not calling anyone. But he did tell me lots of Danzig stories, which I don't tire of. I don't think anyone tires of Danzig stories.
How could you?
But you know what? I don't know if this is a secret or not. It's not a secret. This is what I think is really cool. Do you like Danzig?
Kind of.
Do you like Danzig?
I don't know Danzig.
Everyone loves Danzig.
I love them,
Everyone,
though.
yeah, I love them.
But he just did this. You know the Elvis 68 comeback special?
Mm-hmm.
With the Elvis in red lights?
Sorry.
Okay, you have a lot of Googling to do. Okay. It's okay. But, so Danzig is doing like his own version of, he just did it and has the Danzig logo in the red. I have a picture of it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he did like a show in the round. And I was like, that's so badass. I'm so pumped to see that.
You could have talked about that on the phone.
With Glenn Danzig.
I know.
But it's going to be a DVD. I don't know why I'm promoting Glenn Danzig.
I know. You should be promoting your own book, Tasteful Nudes, which is a beautiful hard copy book, which you can get at any bookseller, but I would recommend...
It's like the man grade of books.
Yeah,
right,
but it's
a lot
lighter.
of people say that.
I would look at all the pages.
It's 240 pages.
Yeah, it's not a daunting amount of pages.
I wrote the fuck out of that book.
I know. I feel it.
It's so cute that you sat down and wrote for
Thanks
for that
for
long.
coming on my little podcast. I'm just trying it out.
Having me. I drove here on myself.
In your little car?
And
I'm just being condescending.
No, I like. But the thing is, like, you know, I'm come from a large family, and I'm from Cleveland. So when someone is condescending to me, because Cleveland, like,
feels
you
like
kind of
home?
beat yourself. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I probably deserve that. You know, I kind of always am like, you know, we're not gonna get to the playoffs, and I'm really hammered right now. I'm sorry.
That's why you cottoned to having your face slapped by fake breasts.
Exactly.
You probably figured you had it coming.
Well, I was pretty happy about that in the end.
It did seem to work out well.
Yeah, it made for it was a fun day. I don't think I've been slapped in the face by fake breasts since then I've never experienced them in private, in a romantic setting.
Listeners, take note.
So if you would like to be that lucky lady...
You can get in touch with Dave and his cheeks, his re-virginal cheeks, at Mr. Dave Hill on Twitter.
Yeah.
And what?
But I'm not saying... I'm not really... I don't really want fake boobs in my face.
They get in touch with you with their real boobs.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Okay. And they should definitely go out and get your book, Tasteful Nudes, which, as I said, it's available at all booksellers, but I would recommend going to Amazon. And if you're going to go to Amazon to buy stuff, which you are anyway, click through the banner on my website, AlisonRosen.com, and that helps out the show,
nice.
Which is delightful. And also, thank you guys so much for listening and for leaving iTunes comments and for emailing and for telling other people about the show, because the show is doing really well, and it is because of you.
Yeah, this is a wildly popular show.
It is. Thank you. I'm really happy about it.
So.
Oh, thanks. I think so, but then
many people as we tell to fuck off, they just keep coming back for more.
They're
It's
gluttons
amazing.
for punishment.
Now, do you get mad when internet comment? I mean, that's like the meanest.
Yeah,
Does
it bothers me.
People say wonderful things, but they say really
like 1 out of 20 is negative, and then all that gets in my head.
Well, that's what I would say. Like, yeah, it's nice to read the nice things, but then the mean. Like, I was like if you were to just take all the mean things that people say on the internet about me and just do one of those word clouds.
Well, what would it be?
It'd be like Dave Hill is the fat fucking faggot who.
That's what they say about me.
Never gonna get laid ever, and two of those things are not true. I sometimes put on a little weight. I struggle with my weight.
You look quite svelte.
Thank you. I've been trying. I feel like I put on a bit in the last couple of weeks because I've been
No, you're thin.
Just on a bender, basically. I had a cupcake for breakfast, for example.
What kind?
Nothing
It
wrong
was
with
really
that.
nice. Well, yesterday was my birthday, as I mentioned.
yeah.
Today's not. I'm powerless. There's nothing I can get for
I
it.
know.
It's my sister's birthday today.
Oh,
Yeah, but
well, happy birthday to your
Yeah.
sister.
my sister Miriam. I gotta call her.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so my friend Allie got me a cupcake, and I ate it for breakfast. And I drunkenly, a nice girl named Danielle gave me cookies last night, and I drunkenly ate them in bed. A lot of my eating takes place in bed. I'm a sad man.
His bed is
as
filled
long
with
as you
crumbs,
didn't
right?
eat them
No.
on your back and then drop them
I
on
know.
yourself.
It's
when
in
you
my. Well,
passed
I
out.
have like a sort of a rug on my chest. Like it stops right.
Crumb
Oh,
catcher.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So would we find like bits of walnuts and cranberries in your chest hair right now?
In my chest.
Chips?
What you do is you shake it out, and you just you can either shake it out and then crack an egg into it and make like sort of a meatloaf type
like
dish.
like a frittata.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
You
thinking
have-
like something you could dip French toast in, but you guys have better
Well,
ideas.
this is a lot of ways to play this one.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
if without the egg, you could make French toast, and it's cool. It's nice because it's like flavor. You're like, oh, I think I taste chocolate. Oh, I'd like roasted garlic, saltine.
Right.
You get all these
Yeah.
little fixins. It's good. It's like that Mrs.
It's like a topping bar.
like that Mrs. Dash. Salt
Yes,
substitute,
right.
Only
It's like an everything bagel
also
topping.
with a bit of chest hair. Yeah.
And I bet a little bits of flaky skin. I'm not
Yes.
accusing you of being under moisturized, but I just know how
Though,
this
you know,
works.
it is a constant struggle.
I know.
Especially when traveling, because of the events of September 11th, I find it's
Screwed
hard
on
to...
the lotion gel front.
It's very hard to travel with the moisturizers and lotions and scents. So a lot of times I travel not moisturized. I don't have my trademark scent. And my life's a goddamn nightmare.
What is your trademark scent?
I
You
can't
can't
really
say,
say.
can you?
It's not. It's probably not on me.
It is trademarked.
I don't know. I hope that it sort of stays with me. It's a lot of ingredients, and sometimes there'll be like more in one area, because not unlike, I like.
Sounds like a secret recipe, like a dry rub.
Yeah, it basically is. It's like a bunch of different things, and then it creates the illusion that it's my natural scent.
okay.
But after a while, it does, because I just keep caking it on, and it never goes away. So it's probably still on me, even though I've showered a few times.
Intriguing.
I bet it involves paprika.
There's a bit of paprika,
There always is.
nutmeg.
There always is.
Sometimes brown sugar, which is surprising.
Brown, yeah. I do like a nice brown sugar scent.
Any lemon zest?
There is citrus involved. Yeah, no lemon.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's nice to have. I'm a big fan of unisex fragrances.
Like CK1?
No,
Patchouli.
though. Thank you for mentioning that.
I don't know any other unisex fragrances.
Well, I'm saying like I would never wear like a man's cologne.
Right. Once I bought a cologne or perfume at that store Fresh in New York. I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah, I know that
And then at
store.
some point I was like, is this actually unisex or for men? I don't know if it was a little bold and masculine for my taste.
It sounds like you had a nice funk on you.
It was more musky than funky.
I like a nice musk.
Yeah, it was musky.
Yeah.
It was definitely not gamey, because that's when musk goes too far.
Yeah.
Into
That's where-
funk.
You're getting
It's
into-
musk, then gamey, then funk.
Right. You don't want to smell like venison. That's not sexy
well,
usually.
I would like maybe like a little bit of venison. I like venison.
I've never had venison.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
delicious.
It is delicious.
need to. What does it taste like?
It doesn't taste like a lady to me.
It does not taste like a lady. It depends what.
He has to eat
Part.
fish out of his breast pocket to
My
taste
friend,
ladies.
my friend hunts deer, and he at his house
I don't
he
like that.
has deer estrus, basically deer vagina juice.
Why?
I guess you
Does he
put
think
it.
it's an aphrodisiac or something?
It's the aphrodisiac for the
For
deer.
deer.
You go out there, you cover yourself in
that
doe
just sounds like
vagina juice,
a
and
stab
then
rape.
That's basically...
The deer think they're coming for like this massive orgy in the woods.
This happened. This was discussed
you killed them.
on our show with Joel Stein. That the way you kill a turkey is by, I think, parading yourself around like a turkey that wants to be raped, or something involving sex and hunting.
That's life in a nutshell. I think. Basically, you're no, I don't know. But yeah, if you want to kill an animal, the best thing, or a man, if you're like a lady killer,
right?
You
well, a lady killer is
or
a
if
man
you want to have
who,
sex
does
with an
well
animal.
with ladies.
It's not a lady who kills men.
No, weirdly, it's not.
You're right.
Although it should.
You're right.
Think that should be the
meaning. It is the other way around.
A lady she'd be a black widow, which is weird because it's like another animal reference to talk about.
Oh, okay.
But a man
you're
killer.
Right. Man killer, that's what it is. But yeah, I think if you're hunting, you want to create the illusion that the animal's going to get laid, and then you shoot them in the face.
It just seems so. It's so manipulative.
I feel like that's how human lady animals treat marriage.
Oh yeah, exactly. Are you married?
I'm not married.
Oh,
I've
yeah, we
avoided
covered
that
this one
trap,
up.
Dave.
Oh, man, sweet.
I see that doe estrus coming miles away.
No thanks. Do you want to get married?
I do.
Someday. I feel like you seem like a real catch. I mean, you're not right for me. So you don't have a vagina?
I mean, I was gonna say we should go to a party dressed as Santas together.
Yeah,
but now that's going to sound weird after you've rejected me as a mate.
We should go to the place Gary goes to and beat the shit out of somebody late at night.
Dressed as Santa or just together?
Oh, you go there
but
because
not
they
with
serve
Gary
food
because
late
he's
at
got
night?
a thing going with the bouncers.
Right.
We don't want to cause trouble for him.
No,
we'll come as strangers.
But aren't there a lot of places
for Adam's show? We don't get off work until like 11:15 some nights.
Yeah,
a lot of nights.
This is Los Angeles. You can get like tacos all night.
I live in the Valley. It's not as easy as you would think to find somewhere near my place.
It's not an all-night town.
There's like three
like
places.
New York, it's not.
Oh.
There's like 3 places that you can eat after 11, and I kind of have to rotate them sometimes.
And you go to Scorcher's, home of the 15
I'll
cent
tell you,
wing.
just because the name's funny, it's called Big Wangs.
Big Wangs. I'm going there as soon as I leave.
It's delightful.
Big Wangs. Is it a Chinese place?
No, it's a wing place. It's like a Hooters.
Oh, they're pronouncing wings in a cute way.
Yeah, they're clever. Wangs.
That's cute.
They're really wow.
Because when you're eating on all the T-shirts.
Because when you're eating wings, you really want to imagine that you're eating cocks.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for coming and doing my show.
Thanks
it
for
was
having
delightful. Is there anything you want to plug more than what we've already plugged?
Oh yeah, I wrote a book.
Wait, is it this Tasteful
it's
Nudes
called
thing? I
Tasteful
wonder what this
Nudes.
was.
Yeah, I want everyone to buy it. I think they'll like it.
I do too.
I'm doing a bunch of shows around the country.
Where can we find out information on that?
On my website, davehillonline.com. I'm coming to your town.
Right. It's not just davehill.com. It's davehillonline.com.
Exactly.
Right. And not coming like 50 Shades of Grey. Like he's going to...
No.
Well,
he's going to come give a performance that may be orgasmic. Probably is.
I will probably masturbate in a hotel, to be fair. So I will.
You got to relax before
less.
the show.
All right, you guys. And you can follow me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow the show's Twitter feed at ARIYMBF. You can follow Gary at GPatrickSmith. You can follow Dustin at Dustin Goot, but he doesn't tweet. Please come see us live June 22nd at Nerd Melt. And I think that is all for now. I love you guys. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Thank you for choosing the Alison Rosen Show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. That's right. Those good times don't seem to end. That's right. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know for the Alison Rosen Show. Yeah! Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
Hey, you guys, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I'm going to play an Angora song for you, but I realized that I forgot to tell you what to make your iTunes comments of the week about this week. So, first of all, obviously, please make them about how you like the show, if you do like the show, because, you know, we need all the 5-star comments we can get. But also, I would like to know, what is your favorite TV show? It can be from any era. So let me know that in your comments. Okay. Anyway, here's a song called I Never. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, I wrote this after a friend of mine committed suicide. And it was one of the hardest things I ever went through. I was in mourning for, I don't know, I feel like a couple years, if not longer. Occasionally now I look back on that and I think, I can't believe this many years passed. And I think about how old he would have been now. And I'm amazed that I am back to, you know, not thinking about it constantly. It's the reason that I stayed in Orange County a lot longer than I planned to after college. It's the reason I ended up getting into a band, because I thought I was going to leave Orange County very quickly. And then this happened and it just completely floored me. And it was like probably, you know, the saddest time of my life, and yet I was playing in a band. So I was the most upset and the most on display at the same time, which was sort of a weird thing. But it was cathartic in a way because I could write all these songs about it. Not that there were that many songs about it, but this one is. And the lyrics are, I shoulda, but I didn't, and I couldn't because you never. And so you can obviously fill in the blanks. It was, you know, just I should have done something, but I didn't do anything, and I couldn't have done anything because you never told me what the hell was going on with you. Those are some of the things you could fill in, but there's other things you can fill in as well. And I also, at the beginning of the episode, I said that I was hesitant to go back and listen to these songs. And with this song specifically, I was never happy with how my vocals sounded, and I do the backing vocals. And you can hear me singing You Never sort of at the breakdown part of the song. And then I think that's my scream in there. And I also, I think, was a little bit embarrassed about that. But then I listened to it again and I thought, no, that sort of captures the emotion. Unless it wasn't my scream, in which case I'm taking credit for someone else's raw emotion, which they probably put on to sing the song. Okay, then. Here's the song. It's called I Never. And if I didn't already say it, I love you guys.